Hello, and welcome. You've made it to the end of your day. The lights are dim. The world is quiet now. You're here to relax, breathe gently, and listen. Let go of the worries waiting in the shadows. We're about to take a gentle journey through time. Tonight, we'll wander softly through the Middle Ages. Not in the loud halls of kings and knights, but in the quiet bedrooms, barns, monasteries, and villages, where people prepared themselves for rest. Let's explore the peaceful past. Not in battles or ballads, but in bedtime, the forgotten rituals of night. Long before alarm clocks, electricity, or blackout curtains. So, get comfortable. Maybe you're lying beneath soft blankets, or sinking gently into a warm bed. Wherever you are, know this. You are safe here, and you can drift as slowly as you need. Now, close your eyes if you like. And let's begin our sleepy tale. Chapter 1, When Night Fell in the Middle Ages. Picture a world without streetlights. No hum of engines, no buzz of neon signs. Just the quiet hush of earth winding down for the night. In the Middle Ages, when the sun slipped below the horizon, its descent was not chased by artificial light, but welcomed with gentle acceptance. People didn't resist the dark. They embraced it. Candles and hearth fires offered a soft golden glow. But beyond the reach of flame, the world was cloaked in shadow. Villagers accepted that darkness meant rest. In towns and villages scattered across Europe, nightfall came early in the winter months. Shadows crept across cobbled roads. Chickens clucked their last in wooden coops. And the slow thud of a stable door closing echoed in the air. Inside homes, many no more than a single room. Families drew close. A mother stirred a pot of stew one last time. Children rolled up small wool tunics and tucked them beneath their heads. The father checked the iron latch on the wooden door, listening for the soft call of a night bird. In cities, shopkeepers shuttered their stalls, and street criers gave their final calls. Some towns had curfews enforced by bell towers or night watchmen. With a steady rhythm, a bell would toll, a reminder that day had passed. And so, they rested. Not all at once, and not always in silence, but gently, and in rhythm with the world. A distant breeze would stir the trees, and a low, comforting sound of wood crackling in the hearth would fill the room like a lullaby. This was the beginning of medieval night. Not a void, not a danger, but a time to pause, to breathe, and to sleep. Chapter 2, The Sleeping Space. Let us step quietly into the rooms where medieval people slept. In a modest peasant home, the entire family might share one bed. A wide wooden frame, topped with a straw mattress stuffed with hay or rushes. Sometimes, dried herbs were added to mask the earthy scent. Lavender, thyme, even chamomile. Sheets, if they had them, were linen. But many used woolen blankets, heavy and warm. In colder months, livestock might sleep inside the home, too. A quiet pig nestled in the corner, or a chicken under a bench. Their body heat, their soft breathing, became part of the home's rhythm. In wealthier households, beds were larger. Four-poster frames draped in thick curtains created warmth and privacy. Feather mattresses and embroidered cushions added a touch of comfort. But even in castles, the night air was cold. Stone walls held the chill. Fires were banked carefully, and servants would check for drafts. Children often slept in trundle beds, wooden frames that slid beneath the parents' bed during the day. In monasteries, monks lay in neat rows on simple cots. Some slept in their robes, heads resting on folded cloaks. Silence was sacred. Bedtime was not rushed. It was gentle. Soft prayers were whispered. Mothers hummed songs from memory. And the glow of the hearth was often the last light seen before sleep. Each bed, no matter how grand or humble, held the same purpose: to cradle the body in rest, and usher the soul into dreams. Long before modern clocks divided our night into rigid hours, people slept in phases. First sleep, they called it. It began shortly after sunset. A few hours of deep rest, quiet and undisturbed. Then, around midnight, people would wake. This time was not seen as insomnia, but as a natural intermission in the night. Some would sit by the fire. Others might say prayers, or talk softly with their families. A monk might read from scripture. A farmer might tend to a late-night task. This waking period lasted an hour or two. Then came second sleep. A lighter, dreamier rest that lasted until dawn. Historians found these rhythms recorded in letters, journals, and even court records. It was a rhythm of life that matched the earth. Darkness, pause, then rest again. We no longer live this way. But some still find comfort in waking gently in the night. Not with alarm or panic, but with a sigh, and a return to dreams. So, if you ever wake in the night, perhaps think of those long-ago sleepers, wrapped in wool, murmuring prayers, and falling back into second sleep. Chapter 4, Night Sounds and Sleep Superstitions. The night in the Middle Ages was not silent. It had a language of its own. The wind might brush through trees. A dog bark far off in the fields. A cart rattle late into a village. And these sounds weren't just noise. They had meaning. People believed that certain sounds held warnings. The creak of a shutter might be a ghost passing by. The hoot of an owl, an omen, and the howling of dogs in the night. Some whispered that it meant death would visit soon. But many sounds were simply comforting. The groan of wooden beams expanding in the cold. The crackle of the hearth. The sleepy sigh of a child. Superstitions curled themselves around sleep. People placed iron tools beneath beds to ward off spirits. A sprig of rosemary above the door kept bad dreams away. Some hung small charms sewn into pillows, blessed by monks or wise women. It wasn't fear, exactly. It was caution. And comfort. A belief that the unseen could be soothed. Just like the body. So, the night was full of stories. Heard in whispers, and remembered in dreams. Chapter 5, Sleeping in Castles, Farms, and Monasteries. Now, let us explore how sleep looked in different corners of medieval life. In castles, the lord and lady might retire to a private chamber. Their beds were ornate, carved wood, layered mattresses, and rich fabrics like velvet or brocade. But castles were drafty. Stone walls echoed footsteps. So, heavy curtains surrounded the bed. Not just for elegance, but to trap warmth and sound. Servants would warm bricks in the fire, wrap them in cloth, and place them beneath the sheets. A medieval hot water bottle. Noble children slept in nearby rooms, often cared for by a nurse or governess. Servants might sleep on benches, in corners, or in communal quarters below. On farms, sleep was more practical. The day began early, so sleep came with the setting sun. Beds were shared. Babies nestled in arms. And the sounds of animals, cows shifting in the barn, pigs snuffling in straw, were as normal as a lullaby. In monasteries, sleep was sacred and sparse. Monks awoke several times a night for prayers. The sound of a soft bell guiding them from slumber. They lay on narrow beds, heads covered, obedient to the rhythms of devotion. Each space, each sound, each tradition was shaped by duty, faith, and the quiet embrace of the night. Whether wrapped in silk or straw, people sought the same peace, and surrendered to the stars. And now, dear listener, as we've wandered softly through time, past candlelit rooms and feather beds, through first sleeps and second dreams. Let your own eyes grow heavier. Let the worries of today fade into shadow. Like a monk resting after midnight prayer. Like a farmer curling near the fire. Like a child wrapped in wool beneath a timbered roof. You, too, can rest. You, too, are safe. And sleep, as it always has, will find you. So close your eyes. Breathe in and out. And let the soft silence of the medieval night carry you into your dreams. Good night. And sweet, gentle sleep.